Blueprints, when?
Maybe. It is. I think it's actually super important. I know that we've had a lot of discussion, and I don't think everyone maybe agrees with me within the studio. But recently I had a talk with one of our UI UX designers, and he had another concept for it, which I think is very promising of how we could do it. Because there's always been an issue as well of like, how do we technically approach it? And what is the design idea behind it? Do we just allow copy pasting of everything that way? Can you make your own building setups and save them? Do we have slots for it that are specific sizes? It's all these different kind of questions. And then comes the issue that we've always discussed of like, doesn't it just kind of defeat the point, because then you're just constantly copying pasting everything? I'm not too worried about the whole copy pasting thing. I think it's a great addition because this game requires a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
And we already know that people they're going to build big anyway. We're not really going to stop them that way. And it's, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a must. And it's on our internal roadmap
Well, I would
to
be
at least
worried.
look into it. So we have planned for it. It's just a question of how we're going to do it. And I mean, I guess it's still the question if we're going to do it, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sold on it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What a turning point. So yeah, we'll see what happens, you guys. I'm still like scared because the fact that people are gonna hit the object limit and stuff like that is always
Yeah.
looming. But there are
And we just
certainly,
have to make that better.
yeah, sure.
Easy peasy, man.
But there's always like there are certain aspects where it's just really frustrating to build in certain cases where you need to repeat, like specifically like if you make a big what's the term, like if you have a factory layout that you have a lot of repetitions in the build of it, it's like it takes a lot of time to just like place the splitter, hook it up with the conveyor belts, and then you realize, oh fuck, I need put the wrong order, and you remove the conveyor belts and like hook it back up again, and then you find like, shit, I used the wrong conveyor belt for this one, and I can't because it's so tight, I can't remove it. I have to remove the splitter, and that is connected with a bunch of conveyor belts as well. So like there are cases where I definitely can see that that is very useful, and you don't build like that very often, where you need to like when you have like those very complex setups of factory buildings that are connected in a certain way. So I can definitely see a use case there, but I'm the one I'm most scared about as a programmer is probably the one where if you have a lot of foundations and you can just like build ad infinite. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, I don't know about the foundation thing. Ben has actually told me that the foundation thing is really not the biggest problem when it comes to object count.
Yeah.
And I don't know, building a lot of foundations I think shouldn't really be the hard part of building a factory. It's always going to be, and the fun part as well as building the buildings, right? Building the foundations is just the starting point.
Yeah.
So I personally don't really agree with the argument that we should limit that, because it's, I don't know, like it's not meaningful to build a lot of foundations unless you try to make something really pretty out of it. But then I would rather have people build specific cosmetic things to make the factory pretty.
Yeah. I don't know.
One by one.
I don't know if Ben has seen the factories where people literally fill the entire world with foundations.
Yeah, but that's more of like an outside tool
Yeah.
issue as well, right? With like if you build the round foundations using the online tool, a lot of them end up underneath the map. I think was an issue, right?
Yep.
That kind of stuff. But apparently the biggest issue is actually the buildings themselves, because they have so many components to them.
Yeah.
So one constructor is not actually just one building. It has a lot of different objects inside of it that count towards the object limit as well. And he has actually been doing really good work reducing that. So we are reaching higher levels of maximum allowed objects effectively, because we're reducing the amount of objects in every single building.
So the future is bright, you guys. My God, 2021 is going to be the year.
At least it's brighter.